task shows how to heal surfaces, that is, how to fill any gap that may be appearing between two surfaces. This command can be used after having checked the connections between elements, for example, or to fill slight gaps between the joining surfaces. Here we have a cat part. Click on the healing icon and select the surface to be healed. So by selecting the elements in the geometry, standard selection, when you click an unlisted element, it is added to the list, and when you click a listed element, it is removed from the list. Add mode is when you click an unlisted element, it is added to the list, and when you click a listed element, it remains in the list. And remove mode is when you click an unlisted element, the list is unchanged, and when you click a listed element, it is removed from the list. By selecting an element in the list, then using remove replace contextual menu items. After this, let us click on OK. Click on keep all sub elements and click on OK. And hence we have got healing done. So in some cases, depending on the geometry configuration and the set parameters, the multi-result management dialog box is displayed. So hence we have to click on no or refer to creating the nearest entity of a multiple element. When the healing is failed, the update error dialog box appears. Click on OK to improve the geometry. The errorless elements are displayed on the geometry. Now we can see that we have merged a distance of 0.001 mm with a tangency angle of 0.5 degree, distance objective of 0.001 mm and tangency objective of 0.5 degree and a sharpness angle of 0.5 degree. Hence healing is done for these three cat part. Restoring a surface. In this task, we will learn how to restore the limits of a surface when it has been split using a break icon. First, let us click on the untrim icon and select the element and click on OK. The restored surface or curve is identified as surface untrim.xxx, that is surface untrim.1 in our case. If the surface has been trimmed several times, it is the initial surface which is restored. To partially untrim the surface, we need to use the undo button right after the trim. So this was the original piece that had been trimmed using break. This is how we use restore or untrim icon. Disassembling event. In this task, we will learn how to disassemble multiple bodies into a monocell bodies. Select the element to be disassembled. You can select any edge of the surface. The system recognizes the whole element to be disassembled. Here now let us select the disassemble icon and select the element. All cells here means that all cells are disassembled, that is, for all the selected elements, a separate curve is created for each cell. Domain only on the right side means the elements are partially disassembled, that is, each element is kept as a whole if its cells are connex, but is not disposed in separate cells. A resulting element can be made of several cells. Now let us select all cells and click on OK. A progression bar is displayed while the surface is being disassembled. Now the selected element is disassembled, that is to say independent elements are created that can be manipulated independently now. Like this is one element, this is another element, this is one element, this is another element, and each element is separated from the original element. This is how we use disassembling elements. Creating boundary curves. Task shows us how to create a boundary curve of a surface. Click on the boundary curve icon and let us select complete boundary, and the surface edge is this. We can see that the complete boundary of the element has been selected. We can also select point continuity. So the split surface will be the same thing and limit will be from this point to this point. We can see only that point is got selected. For boundary, we can have tangent continuity with the same split edge from point 1 to point 3. We can see this whole thing is got selected, but when we reverse the direction, it will not be possible. Only this tangent continuity will be possible. And when we select no propagation, this whole thing will not be selected, but only from limit 1 to let limit 2 be this point. We can see that the boundaries got selected from limit 1 to limit 2 for no propagation. And this is how we use boundary.